Hello, I am Sara Raney, the mother of Dr. Kenley Jean Raney, who lost his life to a drunk driver in Lubbock, Texas. No mother wants to hear what I heard on January 25th. The telephone rang and I crawled out of bed. I picked up the phone and listened to a police officer say that there was another police officer at the gate and he wanted to talk with me. Actually, he said he needed to speak with me. Your son was involved in a car crash and he did not make it. It wasn't his fault. It was another damn drunk. That's exactly what he said. It's another damn drunk. He had seen so many cases like this that I guess he couldn't handle anymore. That was the morning that I lost everything and received a life sentence of loneliness, confusion, and depression. Each day is a struggle to find meaning in a world that feels so utterly senseless without him. Vietnam took his father on January 26, 2003. And since then, it has been just him and I. I am alone and I'm terrified of the future. I'm in my 70s. Who's going to be there for me? I'm alone. That's unfair. A mother is never supposed to bury her child. A child is supposed to bury their mother and live a long life. My Kenley was caring, loving man who would have been there for me as I was always there for him. I lost everything that day. Again, because of a damn drunk named Dennis Rodriguez Abeda Jr. Now, my son was going to an interview for a hospital emergency room physician position. He was traveling with his faithful, beautiful, blue-heeled Australian Shepherd Marshall, who went everywhere with him. Kenley did the right thing that night, as he always did. He was sleepy and pulled into a state rest area, supposed to be a state safe rest area, called Shadow Water. Now, while Dennis was getting drunk with his drinking buddies, my son was working to get an education. When he met with his friends, they weren't drinking buddies. They had goals to contribute to society, not just to get drunk. Kenley was a good man, loved by many and respected by who he was. Folks, no one respects a drunk, especially your children. That night, Kenley walked Marshall and called Melissa to tell her he loved her. He then laid back in the driver's seat with Marshall in the back seat to get some sleep before his interview. While Dennis was drunk with his buddies, Kenley dreamed of a well-deserved future. Now, it's hard for me to talk about this, about what happened on that horrible night. My story serves as a warning for what lies ahead if you continue down this path. And it will happen. At 30, Kenley decided to change careers and return to college. He earned a degree in science and nutrition, graduating summa cum laude. Then he went to medical school at Miami University. When he wasn't studying, he answered suicide prevention line and volunteered at a free clinic. He wasn't out drinking with his buddies. That wasn't his main goal in life. His main goal in life was to get an education and help people. He graduated with a medical degree and a master's in DNA, which is geometric medicine and nutrition medicine. He had found his soulmate, Melissa, and they had planned a future together. They were even talking about what they would name their child if it was a girl. And this would be my only grandchild, but it was never to be. And they chose the name Hattie Elizabeth. Isn't that a beautiful name? Kenley never had a DUI or a speeding ticket. Instead of getting drunk, he entered the Army at 18, was promoted to a sergeant within 2 years, and after 4 years of service, he worked for Santa Clara County 911 in San Jose, California. By 24, he was the youngest supervisor ever there, overseeing 50 people. This is the man that dumb drunk killed, murdered, slaughtered. That was my son. He always helped people. Now, Kenley loved the outdoor sports. You name it, he done it. Hiking, mountain climbing, sailing, ice hockey, running marathons, motorcycle, tennis, taekwondo, snowboarding, and on and on and on. And he received many rewards. He loved life and lived it to the fullest. His legacy is not one of drunkenness, but dedication and achievement. What do you want your legacy to be? That night, my son was on his way for an interview, like I stated, for a hospital emergency room position. He was traveling, again, with his faithful, beautiful, blue-heeled Australian Shepherd Marshall, who went everywhere with him. He loved animals. My son did the right thing that night, as he always did. He was sleepy and pulled into a state rest area to sleep. That night he walked Marshall, called Melissa to tell her he loved her. He lay back in the driver's seat with Marshall in the back seat to get some sleep before his interview. I've known a lot of drunks in my life. They're in all our families. Drunks seem to care nothing about their families, about their loved ones, about anybody, but getting their next drink. Disregarding the law and public safety as they drive under the influence and endanger countless lives. Now, I do know and understand that I am not going to stop somebody from drinking in here. But I hope that you care enough about your family and your life to be a hero to your family and don't drink and drive. There is my son in a parked car in a rest area sleeping with Marshall, dreaming of a well-deserved future, cut short by, again, a damn drunk who slammed into his Nissan going 10 miles, 20 miles per hour, 30 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour, 80 miles per hour, 90 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour, 110 miles an hour, 120 miles per hour, 130 miles an hour, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136 miles per hour. Never slowed down. Yes, 136 miles per hour. This is not an accident. This, in my mind, is murder. He went into a bar, drank too much, got into his car, and buckled his seatbelt. To me, that is even premeditated murder, but it is not to the court system. Look at this car. There's nothing left of it. My son was in that car, what was left of him. Marshall, his beautiful dog, was thrown 500 feet to his death. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. This is what you're going to do someday if you continue on drinking and driving. And this could be your child, your animal, or somebody else's child. Every 70 seconds, somebody is being affected by alcohol, by drunk drivers. Are you going to be next? Are you going to be the one that's going to do it next? I hope not. That night, many lives were lost. Were taken because of this damn drunk named Dennis Abad Jr. For you see, not just one person lost their life that night. Many did. The lives of others will be affected for years to come. Why? Because of this damn drunk. Again, while Dennis was out getting drunk with his buddies, my son was working and getting an education. When he met with his friends, they were not drinking buddies. They had a life and goal to contribute to society, not a goal to get drunk. He was a good kid and loved by many, respected because of who he was. Who are you hanging around with? Again, no one respects a drunk. Children are afraid to come home. They're embarrassed about how their mother and fathers work. Husbands are embarrassed how their wives act. Wives are embarrassed how their husbands act. No one respects a drunk. Kenley left a legacy, and I am proud of him. He had friends from all over the United States. What I don't understand is why it is fun to make a fool out of yourself and destroy lives. Do you want to be known for generation as another damn drunk? Do you want your children to be punished for thoughtlessness? In the past, alcoholism could be hidden. Not today. Everything is on the computer forever, complicating your children's and your grandchildren's lives. The digital age ensures that records of your incidents are permanent. With media today, your children and grandchildren will suffer for years. Background checks are used for everything, such as getting an apartment and jobs, grants, oh yes, and mothers who want to know who their children are dating. Everything is online. If you love your children as you say you do and want them to have a promising future, be a hero. Do not drink and drive. As a mother, it's generally heartbreaking when someone prioritizes short-term gratification, like drugs and alcohol, over their families, mainly when it affects their loved ones as well as others, like me and like my beautiful boy. Your actions destroy many lives. Be a hero. Do not drink and drive. Dennis had a good paying job, but instead of taking this money and spending it on his 2 children, he took it out and drank it all, becoming just another drunk and now a felon. His children forever will have to deal with his decisions. Kenley will never be able to fulfill his dream of practicing medicine. When you go to an emergency room and must wait because there aren't enough doctors, think about it. Don't let another family suffer the pain that mine has endured. Be a hero. Do not drink and drive. The choice is yours. Do you want to be responsible for this? Think about that could be someone's child or yours. My life and ended that day and my health was affected. I couldn't work anymore. But more importantly, a beautiful man lost his life who would save lives, possibly even your life and your child's life. For the life of me, I do not understand how somebody could say that they love their children and go out and drink and drive when there's Uber. Kenley was not just a statistic, but beloved son, partner, and friend. His death was left a void in our lives, and that can never be filled. And while Dennis sits in prison serving time for his crime, nothing will ever bring back Kenley. So to anyone arrested for DUI, I implore you to listen to my story. Understand the devastation that your actions can cause. They haven't yet, but can cause. When you drink and drive, you're not just risking your own life. You're risking the lives of innocent people like Kenley. Please, for the sake of your loved ones and others on the road, never drink and drive. Be that hero. If you continue to drink and drive, you will be responsible for the death of someone, maybe even your own child. Do you want your last picture to be your mugshot? Be a hero. Do not drink and drive. I don't want to be here today. Just like you don't want to be here today. But I beg of you, you have a chance of changing your life around. In fact, you've been given this chance. Be a hero. Don't drink and drive. Your children will be so happy that you have stopped, that you have decided, put it that way, that you're not going to drink and drive. Please. I am Sara Raney. And I am the proud mother of Kenley Jean Raney. Thank you. I don't like this. Oh, okay.